Yo, what's going on, guys? Today I'm going to share my controller settings for FragPunk to prepare everyone leading into launch. In the closed beta on PC, I finished #1 in the world on the ranked leaderboard using controller. So I hope these settings can help you guys climb the ranks and get ahead of the competition. First things first, you want to head over to the sensitivity tab. For the look sensitivity, you'll want a value of 1, which is your horizontal aim. This determines how fast you turn and look around. For the y-axis, which is your vertical aim, I have a value of 0.65. Headshots are important, so being able to maintain crosshair placement and control recoil is key to winning gunfights. Scrolling down, you can also adjust your sensitivity while in ADS. The options are standard, custom, which allows you to set a value for ADS, and per optic, which allows you to change the ADS sensitivity for every magnification scope. Over time, you'll understand what you want your separate scope sensitivities to be, but to keep it simple and easy to understand, I'm using the 0.5 sense multiplier for all. Now, for the view input curve, which is one of the most important settings, the slope showed here in the graph is a direct representation of your analog stick's movement. The higher this value, the slower your aim will be at the center of your analog stick, and it will ramp up as you move it to the outer threshold of your analog stick. I'm using 1.8, and the furthest I go from this is 1. The movement stick dead zone is referring to your left analog stick. Lower this so it's more reactive. If your analog sticks are worn, you may notice your player moving on its own. If that's the case, increase this value until they're completely still. For my controller, this value is 0.05. The same goes with your right analog stick. You want this to be as low as possible without stick drift to control recoil easier with micro adjustments. Since my controller analog sticks aren't worn, I can use a value of 0, but adjust this according to your own controller. Now the next two settings refer to the extra acceleration speed that we will be applying below. I have 0 delay for the boost, but increasing the time it takes to reach maximum sensitivity value at 0.25. Now we are on to the boost. Yaw is your horizontal boost and pitch is your vertical boost. For yaw, when not aiming, set this to 2.2. If you want an even faster turn, you can increase this. For the pitch, we have this set to 1.85. Now we are on to the boost while aiming. We have the yaw and pitch set to 1.85. Keep in mind, this is the boost applied when you reach the threshold of your analog stick. In other words, pulling it from the center to the edge. Boost is very helpful because you can maintain a consistent aiming sense while having fast enough reactions out of combat. The curve sense refers to how fast your analog stick reacts to the main menu or any UI screen. Tweak this to your liking, but I recommend anywhere from 2 onwards. I personally don't use vibration, but the option is here. And lastly, the aim assist option, which you will always want enabled. The rest of the video, I will be showing my controller binds, graphic settings, and anything useful in the general tab. Starting with my binds, I shoot with my bumpers, so I flipped my skills and aim/fire binds. Next, I use R3 clicking down my right analog stick to swap weapons. I like this bind in FragPunk because you'll be swapping to your melee for faster movement frequently. This automatically changes your push-to-talk bind to Y or triangle. Scrolling over to the general tab, you want to apply the anti-motion sickness preset. This turns off camera shake, sprint scaling with FOV, aiming depth of field, and a weapon/world blur. I have auto climbing set to off, also known as auto mantling. I personally use auto sprint, but this is purely preference. Switching weapon on pickup is set to on. The flash guard mode is changing the flash effects of your screen from white to dark gray. This may be something you want enabled. Target and paint road guide is helpful for learning the maps. Door highlight can be set to on to learn what's interactable. Limit mouse area outside of the game can be set to on so you can freely move your cursor to your other monitors on a PC. Next, we have the default scope magnification, and this refers to what zoom your sight will default to when you ADS. I recommend setting this to low magnification and manually zooming in, but you may want to adjust this if you prefer higher magnification scopes. Below, you can change the minimap size and zoom to your liking and add callouts to the minimap, which is extremely useful for learning the maps. At the highlight section, you can change where your clips are saved to on your PC. The settings allow you to tweak the resolution, frame rate, and video quality. Now, for display, we have the performance metrics to show your FPS, ping, and other information. In FragPunk, you can change the enemy color outline. There's some special settings below if you don't want to see cosmetic items on enemies, which can be a distraction for competitive players. Lastly, you have full crosshair customization, which allows you to import or export custom crosshairs. I'll have mine drop below in the description. Now, the last section of the video is the graphic settings. I play on 110 FOV. This can be maxed at 125 if you like. I'm using the highlight filter for a brighter scene in game. Limit your menu frame rate to 60. You can either cap your frames to your monitor's refresh rate or set it to unlimited. My autofocus frames are also set to 60. Anti-tearing will add input delay and limit your frame rate. I have this set to off. FragPunk has DX11 and DX12 support. If you want to utilize features like frame generation, you have to use DX12. I have minimalistic graphics set to maximize frame rate. You can also adjust the special effects on kills, which can be a bit too much sometimes. For upscaling, I'm using NVIDIA DLSS, prioritizing speed and performance. Frame generation uses AI to improve your frame rate at a cost of a bit more input delay. This is only for 40 or 50 series graphics cards and can be useful if your FPS is too low. If you have a NVIDIA GPU, you'll want to enable reflex mode. If your PC is CPU bounded, set it to boost. If you're GPU bounded, set it to on. Lastly, everything else is set to either low or off to maximize frame rate, but if you'd like a higher quality, you can change this to your liking. FragPunk also features a benchmark tool to further test your settings. Drop a like and sub if this helped you out. I'll be grinding to a higher rank and streaming daily at twitch.tv/Pixuy. I want to give a huge shout out to the devs for allowing me early access to prepare these videos for you guys. As always, I hope you guys have an amazing day, and I'll catch you in the next one.
Hunt them down. Or don't. It's your call, not mine. Hide, but you can't. Go with a view. One left. Down to their last lancer. Reloading. Bombers somewhere.